everyone, and welcome to another high-low game of Age of Empires. Today, I'm super duper excited for the Mike Tyson-Jake Paul fight, if only to see Killer Mike come out to play. And as I try to get my blood pressure under control, I sit down to watch what I hope will be an equally exciting and bloody fight between the Viper, playing as the Ethiopians in blue, and MbL, playing as the Berbers in red. Now all the players herd their herdables, explore their immediate surroundings, and try to get their butts up to Feudal Age ASAP. Where are you, Mr. Sheep number 2? There you are. Not a bad time for us to take a look at the very fast civilizations that we will be watching today. Now, the Ethiopians are a civilization designed to kill their opponents as fast as possible. Their foot archers are the fastest firing in the game. Their onagers, scorpions, rams, and bombard cannons can all be upgraded to have an even bigger blast radius. And their unique unit, the Shotel Warrior, is a fast, incredibly strong, but fragile infantry unit that trains in only 4 seconds once you upgrade it to its elite form. Now, to help their army last a little bit longer on the battlefield, both their Shotel Warriors and their camel units can be upgraded to take less damage from all mounted units in the game, both melee and ranged, which may be bad news bears for a mounted civilization like the Berbers. We'll have to wait and see. And to support their military endeavors, Ethiopians do get 100 food and 100 gold for free whenever they go up to the next age and age after that. Their pikeman upgrade is free of charge, which does save them about 300 resources. And it does mean if you have any spearmen left over from the feudal, once you hit castle age, they automatically become pikemen. And their economy, their settlement, their entire game is harder to raid and surprise because their outposts come with a massive +3 boost to their line of sight and don't cost any stone, which means there is absolutely no excuse for the Viper, who is currently both pulling and pushing to not have about 100 outposts out on the map to get line of sight. Now, speaking of line of sight, who might the Viper be trying to keep an eye on? Well, in this particular matchup, it is the Berbers, played by MbL in red, civilization that pushes its players into the 4 welcoming hooves of cavalry. All Berber stable units are 15% cheaper in castle, 20% in imperial. Their camel units can be upgraded to regenerate HP, their castles to work faster. Both of these features do benefit their first unique unit, the Camel Archer. This is a mounted Camel Archer unit, as the name suggests, with a good amount of HP, great speed, and an attack bonus against cavalry archers. Now, starting in the Castle Age, the Berbers can also train a second mounted unique unit, the Genitor. Think of this as a skirmisher on a horse, but one that comes with more HP because you got to factor in the horse, less range, and does cost a little bit more food because, again, you got to feed the horse that the skirmisher is riding. Then, to help get your economy up and running as fast as possible, Berber villagers do move 5% faster than normal in the Dark Age, and then 10% faster than normal after that. So them be the two civilizations. Let's hope for a big bloody battle, much like the Mike Tyson-Jake Paul battle that I really hope we're not disappointed. They have been building this showdown up for the last few months, and although, to be fair, Mike Tyson has been pretty chill about it. He's basically said, the second I step into that ring, I'm going to try to kill you. And there's no publicity. There's no joke. You wanted to fight me. And yeah, I'm one of those people who firmly believes if Mike Tyson didn't meet Constantine D'Amato, his trainer, that instead of owning a multi-billion-dollar weed company and being a podcaster and famous right now, Mike Tyson would probably be in jail for murder. If you haven't seen him box when he was younger, oh my god, go to YouTube immediately after this video, look up Mike Tyson knockouts. There's a reason Nintendo made a game after him. He's just a killer once he gets into the ring. It's not an act, it's not a show, there's no training. He literally tries to kill his opponent, which is both amazing and scary. And so, in any event, as I mentioned, scary and killing, we've got 2 Norwegian players, quite possibly the nicest people after Canadians, or maybe even nicer than Canadians. So let's hope for a bloody battle between these 2 nations that are not exactly known for their hyper aggressiveness. In any event, speaking of a bunch of nonsense, looks like MbL is pushing the Ibex, the Viper. Will he try to make an issue of this? Yeah, he does. No 140 food for you, he says. And look at MbL. Moving bottom, moving top, moving up, moving down. But ultimately, the Viper gives up. He says, you know what, scouting's a little bit more important to me right now than taking a bit of damage on my scout itself. Where are you? Where are your resources? What can I do to steal your sheep? And the attack path between the 2 bases, as we saw, damn, pretty much a straight line. No hindrances, no obstacles, no choke points, no barely any elevation. The usual one relic in this little bit of dirty swamp water looking grass area here. And the Viper's in the rear of the Berber base, which gives us an opportunity to look at that Berber base. Primary gold to the rear, primary stone exposed to the front, extra gold very much in the forward position, as is extra stone. Yikes, I don't like that. And where is your third patch of gold? Already using that gold to be part of the wall off, or as part of the wall off, pardon me, is MbL. And so, okay, look at that. Such an early wall off from our Berber, and he's carved himself up quite a nice little chunk of the map at the moment. Not too sure what the hell he's going to be able to do if the Viper tries to attack into this location. Not exactly any nearby villagers that can come and repair, but it is what it is. And what it is our Berber discovering the Ethiopian wall off, as both players are now in the Feudal Age. Both players at 21 villagers a pop, but a spearman should be moving to the rear of this Berber base. Okay, and unfortunately for the spearman, moving in the complete wrong direction. Line of sight on the houses, not that great, which means he's not going to see this scout until it's too late. And then the spearman immediately says, ah, shit, I got to go all the way back this way. Are you kidding me? MbL trying to Viper the Viper here, and has actually succeeded. Where is that spearman? Slowly but surely, he is making his way over here, as his MbL scout is returning home. Will the Viper fall for it? Oh, he sees it. Oh, the micro out of these players are just so fantastic. Somehow they manage to see anything and everything that's happening out on the map. And look at that, the Viper deeks around these units, but no, it's not going to be an easy exit here. It may not be an exit at all. Maybe the town center is going to pump him full of arrows. No, it is the scout, I believe, that gets the kill. Yes, it does. And MbL draws first blood as a band of skirmishers now moves out. Let's take a look at where they're going. Primary gold and stone. Ooh, I like that. Nice and secure to the rear. Wall off already starting. Where are your extra resources? Stone out front to the bottom, just like MbL has. Extra gold out front to the top, just like MbL has. And third patch of gold. Ooh, at least MbL has his in the kind of rear-ish position. The Viper, both his extra golds are out front, as his extra stone. So he's also starting to wall off, but not much here to wall off, to be honest. They both have one big forest to the rear that they've secured. The Viper's is a little bit less secure, just because it is external as opposed to an internal forest. But in any event, we'll see what happens. Don't like the location of resources for either player, to be honest. And the Viper a little bit too slow with the Palisade Gate, which means this scout escapes. And not terrible, 15 HP. Not a Georgian scout that's going to regenerate, but 15 HP is better than 2 or 3 or 4. And so let's see what kind of damage. I mean, I keep wanting to say our Norwegian can do here, but if I say that, you're naturally going to ask, which Norwegian? Although I'm not too sure where MbL lives. I think he lives in Norway still. I think the Viper lives in Germany, if I'm not mistaken. There are people who follow the pro player scene a lot closer than I do, which is maybe not something a caster wants to admit. But I believe MbL did have a cool series of videos from his return from Red Bull Wolo. I think he drove back from Spain to Norway, if I'm not mistaken, and had a cool series, like I said, of videos. In any event, both players, 32 villagers a pop. It looks like both players are starting to gather resources to go up to the Castle Age. MbL, surprise, surprise, not finding too much damage with a few skirmishers here against a player like the Viper, who has garrisoned his 4 archers in here. 2 more. Okay. So it might be a crossbow play. Remember, the Ethiopian foot archer does fire 18% faster than normal, and that's before taking into account any upgrades whatsoever. And so that does make them the fastest firing foot archers in the game. A few houses being used to blockade the real rear end of the Viper here, as he himself is going stable. Now, one cool dynamic we can see here is regenerating 20% discounted camels, although I don't see a stable. Yeah, I don't see a stable anywhere. Maybe we'll see one in Castle versus camels that take 3 less damage. So remember, the Ethiopians have an upgrade in Castle Age, incredibly powerful, ridiculously powerful upgrade to have in Castle Age called Royal Heirs. Number 1, not expensive. Number 2, again, very powerful for Castle Age. It reduces the damage of all mounted units. So can be ranged, could be melee, Could be a knight, could be a camel, could be a cavalry archer, could be a camel archer. Doesn't matter. If it's on some kind of steed, whether it's a horsey, donkey, camel, elephant, whatever, anything that's mounted, automatically the damage is reduced by 3. But the caveat, oh my god, the Viper hates nature. The caveat is, the warning, the fine print of that upgrade is that it only applies to their Shotel warriors and their camel units, which is why I said I really am curious to see a camel battle between these two players. Although naturally you'll see the armor upgrade, the final one, missing for the Ethiopians. They also don't get bloodlines. So like always in this game, the developers giveth, the developers taketh, and we are 18 minutes in. Speaking of 18% faster firing rates, 18 minutes into the game, still just the 1 kill here of that scout. Where was it? Somewhere near this house, I believe. Never really get too specific. If you watch the channel, you know this isn't exactly a we don't exactly hold ourselves here to a standard of perfection. Half the time I misspeak, half the time I mislabel units. I call these archers, I call these monks. In any event, MbL is moving out yet again. As I say that, retreats, does hit Castle Age a few mere seconds behind his opponent, probably exactly 3 seconds, which is his TC idle time. And the Viper is going crossbow Botkin, MbL going Botkin, and then horse upgrades, otherwise known as bloodlines. Ooh, is the Viper going to get a second kill? Are these basically just lure? Are these lure spearmen here that are meant to keep the crossbowmen in place? MbL has abandoned the high ground, not too sure why. And here we go, 3 basic skirmishers, but the Viper, he enters into the minimum range. Unfortunately, not microing too carefully. He could have maybe taken that fight had he gone into the minimum range of those skirmishers. This one hero Rambo scout that still has 15 HP, the one that drew first blood after fighting where did Rambo come back from? I think the Vietnam War. All disillusioned into that town that didn't want him. The sheriff wanted to help him pass through. And look at that, look at that, look at that, look at that, the Viper. Oh, shenanigans abounding as he body blocks, literally body blocks with a villager, as he himself goes up to not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 town centers to MbL's 1 town center. Okay, so the Viper is gonna have a massive economic boom right now, while MbL is sending, here we go, Genitors. You love to see it. For the longest time, didn't see any Genitors in Age of Empires. Anytime we saw a Berber, anytime we saw a Berber ally, didn't see a single one of these units. All of a sudden, you can't not see them. Their arms must get super tired holding that javelin constantly. I mean, even a skirmisher, I think, as they walk, yeah, even in their little icon here, they rest the javelin on their shoulder, which kind of makes sense. Not so the Jenny. The Jenny, unfortunately, has to carry the spear. And look at that. Again, betrayed by their minimum range. If you ever thought that the Incan upgrade that reduces their minimum range to 0 is bullshit, let this be a lesson. Man, oh man. Skirmisher is such a fun counter unit, but that minimum range of 1 really does work to betray them. And so you see a villager manage the TCB, taking care of business. Kills it. And now the Viper takes a 1 kill lead, 8-7. And villager population, he's ahead 13 villagers, but look at the army count. Where is the Viper's entire army? It is hiding, quivering in its crossbow boots. But he's looking to zone out the Genitors. Again, these are mounted skirmishers, which means they may not necessarily do the damage that MbL expects them to do. That being said, he discovered 3 town centers. If he moves a little bit more northwest, he'll discover the 4th as well, which is fantastic scouting for him, by the way. And now a knight comes out and should be enough to shoo this away, although the Viper might want to be careful not to push MbL too far this way so that he remains ignorant of that 4th TC. I mean, both of these players are trying to body block each other left, right, and center with houses, with villagers, but no, a little bit too little, a little bit too late for our Ethiopian. As his knight gets surrounded, will he get the mangonel? I don't think he even got a shot off at the mangonel before those counter camels did their business. Now they kill Tony the Tiger. Not really sure that was necessary. MbL adding a 3rd TC. So he's the one putting on all the aggression, says, you know what? My TCs are pretty much safe for now. If you move out, I'll see you coming because my army is here with vision. Even if you move out, I don't think you will, because I'm putting on a good amount of pressure here with no fewer than 3 mangonels. Why is the TC not attacking the mangonels? Your guess is as good as mine. It is in range, and I don't see no villager. There he is. 4, which means bye-bye TC. It collapses, buntings falling to the ground. No more celebratory hangings of a fabric for you, as MbL attempting to punish the Viper's quote-unquote greedy economic build with a massive army supply lead, 18-2. But why the hell are the camels stopping? They just want these villagers to garrison inside so that they're not that productive. Or maybe MbL just doesn't care. Okay, obviously, never mind. Sometimes I read too much into the behavior of the players, as these camels line up in their Sunday best and then gun down one by one. 3 of the 4 fall. Not too sure what the hell the point of that was. But 4 mangonels, a bunch of mounted skirmishers, genitors, and a high ground castle here to the very rear of the Viper's base. Will MbL be able to deny / punish / take care of this castle? He does have 4 mangonels of his own. Not too sure why he's so hesitant to engage into the Vipers, but he is going for TCs. Okay. We know Celt ETC, I guess Berber ETC as well. No more mangoes being trained for our Berber, who has the resources for another one. Monk is healing up whatever Berber army has been injured. Villager repairing whatever Berber army needs a bit more DW40, a bit more nuts and bolts here and there. But the villager dies, which I think might be the last forward villager for our Berber. Knight attempts to close on the mango. Will he get converted? Okay, the mangonel kills the monk before the monk gets the conversion, but there are still Berber units here. Remember, all Berber units from their stables are 15% cheaper right now. But the castle is up. The two-fisting Shotel is here. And it is such an incredibly powerful unit. Base attack of a 16 means that it is going to shred through units. Unfortunately, its HP is not fantastic. What is the Viper doing down here, by the way? There's those outposts. Look at the line of sight on a freaking Ethiopian outpost. Look at that thing. I mean, you see a good... what is that? 1/25th of the map? Craziness. That is the Berber one. Outpost down, but with this one, you still should be able to see this army. Okay, kill count is identical. Our Berber has managed to kill 8 villagers in his assault on the town centers. Another castle to the south. Now we've got a monastery up, as well as a mining camp to get some of that quarry stone. We are 30 minutes into the game. Kill count identical, but look at the Viper's economy. It is 30 villagers ahead. You would think that where were you going, Mr. Random Crossbowman? Okay, you're going straight to hell. You think we were watching the Cumin 2 town center feudal play here. The amount of villagers that our Ethiopian has, and there it is. There it is, royal heirs. So he is going Shotel warriors. 9 of them are being trained at the moment. Genitors in a V formation. Ducks fly together, heading straight for something. But look at the Shotel warrior. Look at the stats. 16 attack, only 45 HP. A little bit of hesitation, a little bit of movement here by both players as the Shotels close. And just like that, in the blink of an eye, both mangonels done, gone. Viper manages to convert a Genitor. Unfortunately, his monk doesn't survive to brag about it. Castle will go up. Nothing here from our Ethiopian to stop this. And he's still going up to 8 Shotel warriors. Let's take a look at what upgrades he's got for them. He's got squires. Doesn't need supplies. Arson, no. Attack, no. 1 armor upgrade, yes. As our Berber moves into position, discovers that, hey, there's a castle here in the worst way possible, losing a knight. And remember, this Shotel warrior, because of royal heirs, every time the knight attacks, it's not a 10 attack, it's a 7. Every time the camel attacks, it's not a 6, it's a 3. Every time the Genitor attacks, it's not a 5, it's a 2. That's how royal heirs works, and he's got royal heirs. I wonder if it shows it on the interface. Another knight bites the dust. Oh, the Viper is shredding into this base here. It used to show -3 somewhere, but it doesn't really show it right now. In any event, you'll have to trust in the interface to Shotel's split up there, going after the eyeballs that MbL put out on the map. The Ravens, Odin's Ravens. But the Knights are still faster. We'll see. MbL is being led into a bit of a trap here. These Shotels are getting reinforcements, and my goodness, they are going to just eat these Knights for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. This is going to be very not pretty for MbL. He loses a Knight, realizes it, retreats. Outposts still up. Outposts fall down. And now MbL seems to have abandoned his forward position. Now he's taking more of a center stage position here at the 35-minute mark of the game. Kill count almost identical, 27 to 29. Still 8 villager kills to 1. And what is the name of the game for our Berber? It is apparently Camel Archers, as both players head up to Imperial. The Viper will hit it 30 seconds ahead of his opponent. And MbL is catching up in villager count. Now, if he keeps focusing on Camel Archers, which it looks like he's going to do, he's got 7, he's going up to 13. That's going to free up a little bit of food. Camel Archers are 50 wood and 60 gold. They do not cost food. Looks like 2 camels strayed a little bit too far, too deep into Ethiopian territory, and then got taken out. These Ethiopians, tell me they've got arson by now. Yeah, he does. I guess I could have just checked the... Oh my god, I'm trying to click the Shotel Warrior. I actually could have just checked this and see building +2. Another outpost falls, house falls, and now Siege Workshop is under attack, but why from the low ground? Elite Shotel Warrior is on the way. The Viper prioritizing armor upgrades, which is a fantastic. If they're elite, they hit on a base attack of an 18, and so I'm not too sure you really need an attack, and he's gonna get sandwiched. Oh, but the Berber Camel Archer is still the faster unit. If that was a bit of a slower unit. And the Viper, what the hell is this? He's bringing in villagers. Is he trying to distract? Is he trying to block? Look at this absolute jumble of Ethiopian human mass that's trying to chase and block these Camel Archers. I heard the twing twang of a treb as it attacks this very high ground castle. But the Berber, again, is the faster unit, can kite. However, instead of an 11 attack, they do 8 damage. We'll keep an eye on that chase as these Shotels move forward, confident that the Treb is going to get the castle. I don't know how confident they should really be. What's inside of you? Villagers, and it looks like Genitors and 2 Knights, or 2 Scouts, or Light Cav, not very clear there at the bottom. No, those are 2 Knights. Look at that. I can tell the top of the heads of the units. But together with the Shotel Termite power, the castle falls. 2 Trebs move forward. Let's see what's going on. We got Tony the Tiger trying to avenge his fallen cousin. The Camel Archers are still kiting. How many kills do they have now? 27. The Shotels eating up, like I said, termite power. Any structure they can. And now a second high ground castle comes under attack. I mean, we saw a meme build yesterday. We saw Kipchaks take on Kustaliers. And now we're seeing a meme build yet again of Shotels taking on Camel Archers. And to be honest, I have 0 complaints. This is fantastic. In theory, even with Royal Heirs, these Shotels should not be able to catch up to the Camel Archers, who have positioned themselves nicely right inside the protective embrace of a castle. The Viper is back to the south. This time he's brought a lot more Shotels. This time they're elite. This time they've got iron casting. So they should be able to bust through that southern perimeter in the blink of a freaking eye. Okay, MbL kind of but not really microing his Camel Archers, relying on his castle. Not too sure why he popped out his villagers there. Another castle goes up behind this. Shotels get lured into it. Beautiful play. The Viper, okay, just continuing to try to bust into here, taking down houses. MbL cool as a cucumber, just now pulling his gold miners. He's going up to 50 Camel Archers, but he's got to be careful. This is a third of his castle count right now is about to fall as the Shotels are distracting the Camel Archers. As long as they can keep running around, as long as they can dance and tiptoe and jazzercise their way in front of this Berber army, these red camel archers will not be able to close on the trebs or even the villagers repairing them, but the Shotels have drawn their last breath and the Berber army is free to move forward. The 2 bombard cannons that were trained are still safe. Get the hell out of the way, camel archers. Let the bombard cannons move forward. Such a powerful feature of the Berbers, already such an incredibly powerful, fast mounted civilization. To give them bombard cannons and one of them dies to the trebuchet bombardment. And these trebs, it does look like they are on the high ground. There are villagers repairing, which all are marks against our Berber, who, why is he not moving forward? The Viper packs up. Why is he packing up? Your Pierce armor just got reduced by like 140 something. The Shotels in the rear have managed to get 14 villager kills, completely depopulating the eastern portion of this base, not really paying attention to these extra villagers, rather going after the economic infrastructure. And the Viper is castle dropping here. He wants to teeth the stone. What's yours is mine. It's not one for all and all for one. It is one for myself and everything is mine. I absolutely butchered that. Camel archers, though, positioning themselves nicely to catch any reinforcements and do counter economic damage. The Viper does have about 2.5 times more villager kills than his opponent, so our Berber needs to get something done here. And sending a few camel archers, holy moly, did they get shredded through. Again, royal heirs mixed in with the absolute power of this unit right now, fully upgraded attack wise, I guess, and armor wise. They attack on a 22. They have 5 pierce armor against a unit that does 12, so 7 damage. -3 for royal heirs is 4 damage to a unit that has 50 HP. So 13 camel archers are needed to one-shot a Shotel warrior. Looks like this band will eventually fall. We'll see how many villagers they can take down with them. One more. And one more. Oh, it should not be this hard to kill this unit. It is supposed to be a glass cannon. Castle is firing up here. Shotels are evading. Like I said, fantastic positioning of his camel archers to catch reinforcements. Looks like he's also sent a few. This guy's just trying to get the hell out of here. I don't want to play anymore. I don't want to play anymore. I don't want to play. I want to go home. I want to go home. Where's my mommy? He says as he tries to run the hell off the face of the earth. Army counts, our Berber still has a little more than double. His villager population has been gutted a little bit. Gutted a little bit. I don't know if I can say gutted a little bit. Hurt a little bit. The wall is not back up, which means another group of Shotels are going to basically eat through this like acid through metal. And this is just going to be very bad for our Berber. He's going to lose a lot of units right now. Look at how quickly. And by the way, the speed of the kill is really what's crazy about the Shotel warrior with that 22 attack. That is a Manaspa. A Manaspa plus 29 other Manaspas in the immediate vicinity. They attack on a 22 when fully upgraded. I believe the latest also attacks on a 22 when fully upgraded. Although these Shotels do not ignore armor. Wow, managing to get a few kills as there's Camel Archer. And yet again, our Berber just positioning himself, although a little bit over the threshold here, which means he loses, oh my goodness, 4 Camel Archers for nothing. Shotels are back. Why is this wall up not up and running just yet? Where are they going? We'll keep an eye on those as these Shotels again begin termiting this wall off here. Army counts are becoming identical. Villager counts are growing further and further apart. About 54 villagers right now. So to be fair, MbL was catching up in villager count amazingly. He's got a lot of TCs. He's got a lot of castles, all, by the way, clumped in this little area. Unfortunately, the Vipers just killed 38 more villagers than him. And Camel Archers, as good as they are, they can't really dive bomb trebuchets like Shotel warriors can. That's why he's got to mix in the bombard cannons to give himself a little bit of a extra oomph in the range. Oh no. Oh no. How many is it? 7, 8? 8 of them are moving to the north. A whole bunch are moving to the south. I'm surprised the Viper is running away, although he might be drawing this army south as he himself is about to attack to the north. He does not know about the lumberjacks over here. You've seen the lumber camp, but I don't think the Viper is going to risk 3 different castle radii, pardon me, in order to kill some villagers. Let's see what's happening. Camel archers stepping a bit too close to the castle. Not too sure how long they're going to survive here. They're doubling down on the shitty pathing here. Will he die? Will he die? He does not die. In the meantime, Shotels continue ripping apart, shredding this lumber camp line. The Viper. 6 trebuchets, beautifully synchronized, packing and unpacking. Oh yeah, look at that. Are they going to fire at the same time? Are they going to fire at the same time? I mean, you guys know how much I love synchronized attack. Synchronized treb attack. Synchronized treb attack. I didn't realize how beautiful it was. I didn't know how beautiful it would be. Oh, until I saw it. Oh, it's so beautiful. Even though they're attacking different targets. No, now he packed up. And our Berber again, the positioning is great, but what is he doing with these bombard cannons? Why are there still structures here? Why are there castles here? You have bombard cannons. You've got 5 of them. Where's the 5th one? There he is on his own. Cocky bastard. You've positioned your army to catch reinforcements, but mamma mia, how many Shotels are here? Camel archers move forward. They're going after the Shotel warriors. My eyes are peeled to the south to make sure I don't miss any kind of charge. It looks like both players tiptoeing around one another. Man, Shotel's so hard. And the Viper, he packs up. He packs up. No, again, the Pierce armor goes to shit when you pack up. And the Camel archers are chasing. 3 of the Trebs have fallen. To the south, it looks like he is. Our Berber finally attacking a castle. We'll keep an eye on this chase as the 4th one does fall. Finally, he's using his bombard cannons, but in come the Shotels. And there's another group coming from the north. Oh, this is going to be a massacre. This is going to be a massacre. He's going after the bombard cannons first. Probably not worth it at this point since the castle is still up. And they're not really attacking it, but running away. But look at this absolute disgusting mess of blood and gore. I wanted to see blood and guts, and I got to see blood and guts. But the Viper with the sandwich, the maneuver from the north, the maneuver from the south. Did he save any trebuchets? He saved 1 treb with 7 HP. Oh, it looks like the Camel archers will have seen it in picture, but it looks like they chased in to the, oh my god, the castle. How many died? They chased those trebs to the castle. MbL microing down here, up here. It's not enough. The Viper just absolutely, look at this mayhem. This might be my thumbnail. This disgusting pile of guts and viscera and blood and dead bodies. I mean, this is why we watch. This is why we play. This is why we love this game. And wow, what a fantastic game. I mean, again, I'm all for the meme builds. Let's see full-on Teutonic Knights take on full-on Boyars. Let's see, oh, I don't know. What do we want to see? Let me know what 2 unique units you want to see duking it out 1v1. That's not a super duper unfair matchup. But wow, almost 300 Shotels. 133 Camel Archers, crossbows and trebs. Yeah, forget the second most trained unit. They lasted for like 5 seconds in this game. And then the trebs and the bomber cannons. I am really surprised that MbL didn't really get that much accomplished. There's a forward castle here on the low ground, completely undefended. Completely on its own. Lots of nice choke points here where you can keep your Camel Archers, or at least keep the Viper pinned back. Looks like the Viper is also simultaneously killing more and more Lumberjacks. He's got more than double the Vil kills, 105 to 48. MbL obviously has the higher kill count with the ranged unit versus the unit that has 50 HP. Although Camels also don't have exactly the greatest amount of HP. They at least have a base armor of 1-1 to the 0-1 of the Shotel warrior, but doesn't really matter. The Shotels swarm and destroy that army. Holy moly. Viper PKPM 14 minutes ago. MbL, okay, a little bit earlier than that, 17 minutes ago. Economic, yeah, look at that. The Viper for the longest time had an economic lead, and then look at MbL's red line. Womp, womp, womp. Just completely down. His, whether it's this dotted one or the solid one, doesn't matter. It is on a downward trajectory, and if this was your stock portfolio, unless you're a short position, you're not very happy with how this looks. Plus, you're also not very happy with being down 14,000 resources. Both players gobbled up. Good amount of relics, stone and food for our Ethiopian, wood and gold. There's your Camel Archer play for our Berber. One whole conversion that we saw. 41 raisings to 9. It should have been more than 9. that should have been like 15 to 20 with 5 bombard cannons. Ooh, I don't know. Maybe the bombard cannon use wasn't as fantastic. I don't know. He really did. I didn't mind this maneuver of inserting himself into this part so that he could catch reinforcements, that he could catch units streaming across the map. He could maybe pivot a little bit to the left. He could threaten the center, run around through the south and threaten some of these villagers. It's a good position to establish yourself in, but maybe with static defense or offense first, and then as you attack the periphery, because as fast as a Shotel is in movement speed, as fast as it is trained in 4 seconds, if you were to attack this castle, the Viper would have a really hard time reinforcing, because look at how far away these are. This is the closest castle, and then after that, it's this one and these two. Whereas if you're down here, you are literally in the eye of the shitstorm. You have a castle right beneath, you have a castle to the left, you have 2 castles to the north, and you have a castle to the right. You are literally in the crosshairs of a shit tornado, to quote Jim Leahy of the Trailer Park Boys. And this is what happens when you just, yeah. I wonder if he was microing too much up here and he didn't realize. I kind of want to see that again. I wanted blood and guts, and I want to see blood and guts. First of all, let's say I'm curious. There's not going to be any analysis. There's none of that. 46 camel archers, 50 Shotels. Let's see how many survive. There's no analysis. I just want to see them die. To be fair, an equal number of unique units died, 36 to 35, 5 extra bombard cannons. And if microed properly, maybe the Berbers could have taken this. But again, losing a whole, this looks like he lost almost 10 units here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 8, 9 units. Oh yeah, almost 10. He is reinforcing with a good number. So maybe if he had moved his camel archers a bit to the right, but losing those bombard cannons is a real kick to the nuts. Not getting this castle, letting it stay up is also a bit of a blow to the ribs. And with those punches here and there, the Viper just stands strong, gobbles up huge chunks of the map, and with Royal Heirs, which again, now I hope you at least appreciate the power of this bonus, this upgrade, this unique tech, and having it as a Castle Age technology is absolutely ridiculous. Shotel warriors are not super duper expensive. They're 50 food, 30 gold. So they cost a little bit more gold than your average infantry unit, a little bit less food. But if you can start pumping them out en masse, and if they take 3 less damage from all mounted units, melee or ranged, yeah, especially against a mounted civilization like the Berbers, it's going to be an uphill battle. For the Berbers, it's going to be very much a downhill slaughter for the Ethiopians, and with that downhill slaughter, the Viper is victorious, but GG in a fun, bloody game to both players. Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips and make sure to subscribe and enable notifications so that you're notified of my latest uploads.